Welcome
to the two travelers in Mexico.
We are the two travelers in Mexico. I'm Mark, and as Paulette sometimes calls me, douchebag. She tells me that that's a pet name, but I have my doubts.
Stop.
And this now suddenly speechless is Paulette. We're here to talk about things we can't find in Mexico that we wished we had brought from the U.S. Asked by Claudia, one of our faithful subscribers.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, thank you.
The first one, for me and for Mark, is ranch dressing.
Now they have ranch dressing here, but it does not taste nearly the same as the ranch dressing that you get in the U.S., even though the brand is the same.
Yeah, we've even found Hidden Valley ranch dressing, but it is not the same taste as in the U.S. at all.
For me, it tastes saltier for some reason.
Yeah, it just doesn't taste right. Basically, the ranch dressing here just doesn't taste the same, and we've tried several different ranch dressings, probably 4 by now, and doesn't cut it at all. We wish we had known that. We wish we would have brought some ranch dressing. I'm not a real big ranch person, but with fried zucchini, ranch is splendid.
It's hard to beat that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wish I would have brought a couple of bottles with me.
One of the things that I wished that I had brought more of was electronics. Now, you can find them here, but they're all imported, and they add import taxes onto them, so it's actually more expensive here to buy electronics than it is in the U.S. And the quality may also be different too, but I'd wish that I'd brought, as an example, an external hard drive, a large external hard drive, because as we really get into this YouTube making, I'm running out of space a lot of times to store our movies. So probably when we go back, I'll get an external drive, and I'll have some more storage space. I also wish that I had brought some more mini micro USB cables for our appliances. I also wish that I had brought a couple of household UPSs for plugging in our electronics, rather than just plugging them into the wall here, because the current varies a little bit here.
We have found some adapters and different things at the Mercado, but I don't know how good the quality is either.
Yeah, and Walmart and places like that do sell like the APC UPSs and stuff too. But like I said before, they're more expensive to buy here than they are in the U.S. Even if you order them on Amazon, you still pay an import fee. Even from the Mexico Amazon, you still pay an import fee.
The next area that I'm going to hit is pots, pans, gadgets. And so I wasn't sure what to bring, what not to bring. I'd asked a lot on a lot of different expat pages. I ended up bringing with me my juicer, my Vitamix, and we had one of those, how do you say the name of the coffee pot? I can never get it right.
Keurig,
right. Coffee pot. So that is what I ended up bringing with me. Can you get them here? Yeah, you can get juicers, you can get Vitamix, and you can get many different brands of coffee pots here. Not a problem. I just wasn't sure, and since I had them, why pay that extra expense once I'm here in Mexico? So that's what I ended up bringing. And if you have any favorite gadgets, any kitchen gadgets that you want to bring, I would say bring them if they don't take up, too much room.
Yeah.
I brought some things that I found I could find here, like one of those juice squeezers. I wasn't sure if Mexico would have them. I don't know why I thought that, so I brought mine. And since then, I found them in lots of stores. I brought like my whisk, things and stuff like that. But again, you can find those. It's just if you have any favorite gadgets, ladies, I would say, and gentlemen, I would say, bring them with you. They're not going to take up that much room. That's my suggestion on that. Like I said, you can find the pots, the pans, all that stuff here. You're just going to pay a little bit more for it than you would bringing your own stuff that you have.
And the other thing we've noticed that if you're buying appliances or like a toaster as an example, we bought a toaster and you're basically buying the demo model. I mean, they come and take that toaster off the shelf and put it in a box that it came in and handed it to you.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
You're not actually buying something brand new in a box. And the same with the CD player
Yeah,
that we bought too.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mark said, they just took the one that was on the shelf, put it in the box, and then that's yours. And that's something that we're not used to in the U.S.
Yeah.
But here in Mexico, that seems pretty common because it's happened with 2 appliances that we bought so far.
Yeah.
Although we did buy the
the pressure cooker.
The pressure cooker, right? The pressure cooker. That's what we're actually using to set the camera on, so that it's high enough. It's a perfect box size. So I have that sitting in front of me. We bought that from Bed Bath & Beyond when we got here because I thought it'd be great to use. However, it's still sitting in the box.
Yeah.
I haven't used it. I thought it would be great to use, and it will be great to use. It's been like, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
5 months?
Yeah.
4 months that I haven't used it.
We'll put it in a collection of the other things that we bought that have not been used yet, like the fancy water container and stand. But going back to the camera, the reason why it's propped up on a box, because I did not bring my tripod. So that's another thing that I wish I would have brought for the camera, was a tripod.
Yeah. So one more thing that I did want to mention on the appliances, I ended up buying a Black & Decker toaster, floor model, of course. And that's a known name. You are going to pay a little bit more for known names also. So just to let you know that there are some names that you will find out here. And I did buy a small round waffle maker at Copal's. Again, floor model version. And I don't even know what brand that is. And I was real skeptical, but I've used it a couple of times and it's worked.
Yeah.
It's worked fine.
Yeah,
so,
hasn't caught fire or anything yet, thankfully.
Well, don't say yet, but it seems to work okay. Like I said, I wasn't quite sure. I don't even know what brand it is. I don't even see a brand on the Waffle Maker, but that seems to be holding up okay on the uses that we've put into it so far. Another one that I'm going to cover is organic spices, ketchup, vitamins. As you guys have seen, some of my pictures that I posted of my food covered with ketchup. You can't even identify what the food is. If you don't know it by now, am a huge ketchup fan.
Yeah. It's like a plate of ketchup with a side of food in her case, usually.
Well, I just think everything goes better with ketchup. Kind of like everything goes better with Blue Bonnet, right?
Yeah.
If you guys are old enough, you'll remember that commercial from TV. But anyhow, so I ended up bringing, I was trying to bring like a year's worth of my organic vitamins that we take, and are just supplements, I guess you could say. And spices, like I brought my organic onion powder, garlic, Italian seasoning, chili powder. What else do I have in the cabinet? Do you remember? A basil.
Basil, yeah.
What's the other one? Basil and
parsley.
Parsley, thank you. Yeah. So anyhow, I used to shop at a store that had all my organics. It was called Sprouts. Where did I get all
you
my
went
stuff?
to Sunrise Natural Foods.
Sunrise
and you went to
Natural
Sprouts.
Foods and Sprouts is where I shopped a lot at.
Mhm.
But anyhow, so I brought a whole year's supply with me because I wasn't sure if I could find organics. Now, can you find mercados that are organic? I think so.
Yeah.
We just haven't found them.
Mhm.
So you can buy all that stuff here. Like I said, I just haven't found them. I have a routine when I buy my produce is I get a big bowl, fill it with the bottled water, and I put in some apple cider vinegar, and I wash everything that I buy that way, my fruits and all my vegetables, and then I dry it off, and then I put it in the refrigerator. But that's just kind of a routine. I have that same routine when I lived in the US, even if they were organic or weren't organic or whatever, that was my routine that I did all the time.
Right, and it doesn't taste like vinegar afterwards either, which is good.
Yeah, you don't get that vinegary taste, but vinegar is good for you. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, because I'm pretty much a organic freak if I can help it, is shampoo and conditioners. I ended up bringing several bottles, probably 6 bottles of shampoo and 6 bottles of conditioner with me, because I wasn't sure whether I could find them or not. I have found some organics. I found some organic shampoo and conditioner at Sam's, and I think we bought 1 or 2 bottles. Do you remember what we bought?
Yeah, we bought a couple of bottles.
Yeah,
And,
maybe I tried like 1 shampoo and 1 conditioner, and I'm just about ready to start it because I've gone through our shampoos, most of them anyhow. We did find a store down the street from us that does have some organic shampoos and stuff like that, and they have vitamins that they say are organic, and I did buy some there, although it doesn't say it on the bottle.
yeah, you're just
doesn't say,
basically
like-
taking their word for
I'm
it.
basically taking their word for it. But also I have found like specialty nutritional vitamin stores, you know, around the streets here where we live and historical area and things, but I don't find organic vitamins. So that's one real tough thing, you know. I ended up running out of some zinc, and I ended up buying some here, but it's not organic or anything like that. So
Yeah, and it has like a lot of products, it has the food color dye in them and stuff.
yeah, that's one thing too. Thank you for remembering that. That's one thing too, is I always am careful 99% of the time at looking at the bottles of vitamins and things like that, because I don't like those dyes in them. And I just don't understand, why do you have to put a dye in something? Does it have to be that attractive to somebody to buy it? I don't understand that. So yeah, that just kind of bums me out. What was it? We returned something that we bought. What were those pills?
It was the zinc.
It was the zinc. We bought some zinc at, was it Sam's or something? Sam's or Costco.
Yeah, it was at Sam's.
Anyhow, and I thought I looked at the bottle, but I did not. And after opening it, I realized that it had the red dye in it. And it's like, what the hell? Are you serious? So I ended up taking them back, and they were good. They took it back. But yeah, I don't like anything with dyes in it. Not my friend at all.
So if you can find, you know, if you have a specific vitamin, an organic vitamin that you like to keep around, make sure you bring a bunch of it with
Yeah,
you.
bring a
If you
bunch of
can make
it.
space for it in your, however you're traveling, whether it's your car, RV, or flying, or whatever. Because you know, it might be difficult to find what you're looking for here in some cases.
What I did too is on a lot of my spices, my organic spices, like I bought the bigger bottles that were like that, and I put them in my Vitamix, and I brought it like the onion one, like I'm not real big on onions, so like I made that like really, you know, fine, and then what I did is I could get like 2 bottles of that like in 1 bottle, so that really saved on bringing stuff here.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing like on the garlic. You know, it just saved on making it as small as you could, compress it all together, and then that was like, instead of bringing 12 bottles of, let's say, garlic, I ended up bringing just 6 bottles or something like that.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well too.
Yeah.
So that's a suggestion for you guys out there if you're thinking about bringing any kind of specific spices that you like that might be organic. If they're not organic, then no worries. You can find just about everything here. Like I said, I'm just a total organic freak. So if I can have organic and I can bring it with me, I'm gonna do that.
Emphasis on freak.
I'm not a freak.
Mm-hmm.
Freak of nature, that's what you call me. That's what he calls me. He calls me a freak of nature.
That's a term of endearment.
It's a term of endearment. What's my term of endearment for you?
Apparently douchebag.
I know that's not nice. Don't judge me. Okay, don't judge me. But I do. That's a term that I use. He calls me like a freak of nature, and I call him douchebag sometimes. Not all the time.
Among other things.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, okay.
What? I don't call you bad things.
We'll go. These people here don't want to be mixed up in that. So one of the things that we wished that we had brought more of was different games, board games, dice games, cards, stuff like that, especially during this quarantine time when we're at home so much of the time. Now you can buy these things, we believe, on Mercado Libre, which is it's like a Amazon, eBay combined thing here in Mexico. And you can also buy this stuff on Amazon.com.mx. But again, it's going to cost you more because most of this stuff is imported. So if you have some room in your car or however you're coming here, probably a good thing to do would be to pack some board game. One of the things for me that I probably should have brought more of is shoes. Now you can find shoes here everywhere as long as your feet are a standard size. Now my feet are a size 15. You're not going to find that here in Mexico. In fact, you're probably not even going to find a 12, 13, or 14 either. So if you have big feet like me, bring all the shoes that you think you're going to go through between the time you come here and the next time you go back to the United States.
And that's what he did. He brought all of his shoes, didn't you?
I did bring almost all of them.
Yeah, and I did not, and I missed a lot of my shoes. Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, that would be a carload in and of itself, would be Paulette's shoes.
And boots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a sandal or boots. Mm-hmm. Nothing too much in between, although I do wear tennis shoes once in a while. But it's sandals or boots. Mm-hmm. That's it for me.
And also the other thing is if you're a taller guy like I am, I'm 6'5", I wear a size 2X shirt. You can find 2X clothing here, but it's quite a bit rarer than the United States. I mean, you could be looking at a few stores before you come across a 2X shirt.
True. The next thing is sheets, towels,
bedding in general.
Yeah, bedding in general. Now, you can find the same good quality towels, washcloths, hand towels, whatever, and bedding, the sheets, pillowcases that are in sets at Costco. And they're just like the ones that were in the United States. They're really good quality. Mm-hmm. We did not bring any sheets with us, did we? We didn't bring any.
No, because we didn't know what size of bed we were going to be getting here.
Well, we knew we'd be getting king. You're 6'5".
Yeah, but the king, I think, is a little bit different in measurement here, because if you buy king sheets here from Costco, they are way loose on the mattress.
So I don't think they're the right size like we're used to in the U.S.
And just so you know, a queen size bed here is equivalent to like a full size bed in the United States.
Yeah, a full or a double. I don't know which one's smaller, but it's like the smaller version is a queen. And that's called a, what do they call it here? Matrimonial?
Matrimonial,
yeah. So that's about the standard that most people use here. Mm-hmm. However, that would not work for this guy. He's just, you know, we need a bigger bed.
Mhm.
And we had a California king
Yeah, that
in the
was
US,
nice.
which was really nice. Here we do have a
Mhm.
king that our landlord got for us in our room and in our guest room.
Mhm.
So that's nice, but the sheets do not fit the king size beds here in Mexico at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my suggestion is if you have good towels and sheets, I would say bring them. If you're a Costco member, then, you know, your Costco card would work here just as well. If you just want to buy those items while you're here. Oh, and the hand towels, kitchen hand towels are the same ones that are sold in the US. Good quality, stuff like that. And if your Costco card does happen to expire, you can just get a new one here, and it's cheaper. It's like $25, right, for the year? Is that what we pay?
Yeah.
Something like, depending on what the peso value is at the time. But for us, it was about $25 for cards for each of us.
And here's the thing, if your United States Costco card expires while you're here, you cannot renew that one here. You have to get a Mexico Costco card.
There you go.
The next thing I wish that I would have brought more of is tools. Unfortunately, we were dealing with space considerations inside of our car because we drove here, and so I had to leave a lot of my tools behind. Now they do have Home Depots here, you know, and some other hardware stores. They have like AutoZones here for auto parts and tools. You can buy stuff here. It's a little more expensive. I just wish that I had room to bring some more tools. When we go back to the US for a visit, you know, probably I'll try to bring some more tools rather than just to rebuy them again here, because I've got them stored at my son-in-law's house right
Yeah, and we did. We had our little tool container, but we couldn't get that in there.
now. Yeah.
So,
So,
probably because of all of his shoes.
Yeah, that must be it. So I did get to bring, however, one electric drill and a drill bit for that, and then a couple other small little tools, but that was pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah.
So if you have space, try to bring some basic necessities for tools: wrenches, Allen wrenches, a power drill, stuff like that. If you know, if you're a handy person and you like to have projects.
And the next thing was?
The next thing was an electric blanket. We had a really nice electric blanket at home, and we didn't use it often. On cold nights we would just plug it in and, well, turn it on for a little while, just to warm up the bed a little bit before we got in. Here, we haven't really been able to find a good electric blanket, so we wound up just buying a bunch of blankets and throwing them on a bed. But that's the one bedding thing, along with pillows, that we wish we would have had room to bring, because they do sell pillows here, but they're not quite the quality that we're used to in the United States. They look nice and fluffy, but when you lay on them, they pretty much just flatten out.
Yeah, they're not very good. And we bought pillows at Costco, thinking that those would be good quality pillows, but they're not.
Yeah.
And then we bought
some at
Woolworths. Yeah, we bought some at Woolworths too, and the quality is not there. Luckily, I did bring my special pillow with me for my neck, and I'm glad that I brought that one.
Yeah, we did it. That was in another video that we did too. It's basically, if her pillow doesn't come with her, if her pillow doesn't get to come, she's not going. She's just that attached to
It's
her
great.
pillow.
It's great.
Like one of those Sealy, it's like a Sealy like Posturepedic pillow. In a way, it's got memory foam or something in it.
It's really the best pillow. Let me tell you, I tried a lot of pillows before I found this one.
Yeah.
And this pillow is my friend for sure, for life, until I need to replace it. I've had it for several years now.
Yeah.
But it's a great pillow, and I'm so glad I brought that one with me.
So if you have a pillow that you're absolutely in love with,
Bring it. Bring it. And one funny story here talking about the electric blanket is, you know, like kind of like did like a dry run of what we could get in the car and all this other stuff, and it seemed to
Oh,
work. Huh?
Yeah.
What?
We brought the controller for the blanket because that made it into a tub, but the blanket is still
The blanket is still
at
at
our
my son's.
house in California.
So we were going through all this stuff. I pull out the attachment for it, you know, like
Yeah.
that turns it on each side, and the plug, and it's one whole thing. But my blanket's not there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny too.
Mhm. So all we have is a controller and the dream of an electric blanket at this point.
But you can find them here, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, we're not going to bother getting one at this point.
Mhm. Our next thing we wished we would have brought was umbrellas. We had some really nice big umbrellas at home. Again, they got left behind for space. Now, of course, you can buy umbrellas here too, but they aren't.
And we did.
And we did, yes. But they aren't really the quality that we're kind of used to in the United States.
The handles are kind of flimsy on the
Flimsy,
two that we
yeah.
bought, and they're pretty big ones
Yeah,
that we bought at the Mercado.
yeah.
What I wish that we would have brought though is the nice fold-up ones that I could put in my backpack purse
Oh, yeah.
or my backpack.
The ones that the handles collapse.
Yeah, we had some really nice quality ones,
Mhm.
but they got left at home also.
Mhm.
So I have a suggestion, if you have some really nice fold-up ones, bring them, because when it comes this weather season like it is right now throughout the summer, you're going to want to carry an umbrella with you.
Yeah,
You know, the ones that we carry now are our big ones.
right. Even though, I mean, living in the central Mexican highlands, it can be bright and sunny when you leave. Half an hour later, you could be looking at a thunderstorm. I mean, they just come in that quickly sometimes, and they leave pretty quickly too.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's like tropical storms, maybe. I don't know what you call them.
Mhm.
But I mean, you find that in a lot of places. Hawaii, Ecuador was the same way.
Yeah,
You know, and it's not like it's cold for the most part when they do happen. I think that's why they're called tropical. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But anyhow, yeah. So bring your good quality compact umbrellas if you have them. That's my suggestion. You can buy them here. You can buy the big ones here, but the handles seem to be pretty flimsy, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
So I'm not sure how long ours will hold up. If we get through this season, great. Because they weren't that much. I think they were like about $9 or $10 each. The big ones that we bought.
Not even that. I think they were like $5 or $6 each. We paid 100 pesos for one and 120 or something for it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so combined they were probably right around $10. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with like 12, maybe 13.
You do that.
So, I hope we answered your questions that you had, Claudia. Those are the things that we could come up with for now. I'm sure that there's probably more that we're not thinking of right offhand, but hope that this answered your questions that you had. And you know, if anybody out there needs to get me their stories still, bring them to me. I've collected about 65 stories. My goal is 100. So if you guys have, you know, the intention of moving to Mexico but haven't done it yet, that qualifies. If you're here in Mexico, that qualifies. I just really need some more stories. I have a goal. My cutoff day now is going to be July 24th. I'm not taking any more after that. They need to be to me by the 24th of July. So please, 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 if you guys are watching this video, your goal is to make it to Mexico, or you're here in Mexico, please, I would love to hear your story, and I will get you out the 8 questions that I have written down, and you can tell your story however you want. Just to incorporate those 8 questions in there. You can tell as little as you want, you can tell as much as you want. It's your unique story to Mexico.
And I'll put a link to her email in the description box below. And for anybody else watching who might have a question about what to bring or what not to bring, Also let us know in the comments too, if you want to know about certain things here, what you should bring or what you don't need to worry about bringing. And we'll try to answer those too as best that we can.
Yep, until then,
And the next time, what she did.
love you guys. Stay tuned, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Adios.